Yo.
You are now listening to the smoking section.
Oh yeah.
Where you'll find hot topics.
And fire conversation.
Keep it locked.
You hear me?
Yo, what is up, everybody? How are you doing, you wild animals? Man, I've missed you guys. Listen, the last podcast I did was phenomenal. If you haven't listened to it, please go check it out. I also spoke for the first time about it, but as you all may know now, that yes, I am working to become a Freemason of California. Yeah, Oxnard 341, stand up. Anywho, yeah, I want to move past that. But if you want to hear a little bit about it and maybe interested, yeah, listen to the last podcast with Scott Neese and Renee, two dudes who are super chill guys from the area. And just listen to a little bit of their story. I want to tap in with y'all, man. I was just in Florida, bro. Florida is wildin'. I was out there for 3 weeks. Yeah, I was out there for 3 weeks working, doing some other shit. And I got to enjoy Pensacola, yeah, and Gulf Breeze. Even drove down to Panama City. My mom flew in. My mom and my sister flew in. And we went and ate food, and spent some quality time together. But one thing I did want to talk about is just, moving forward, right? Like, being out in Florida was it was crazy, right? So I'm living in Cali. In Cali, we have some of the strictest restrictions, right, as far as COVID-19 goes, and the policies in place. Where Florida is wide open. Like, they're way wide open. So it's just crazy to have been there and to see, it literally, I remember making the statement of, it felt like I was standing in America 2019. Like, what America felt like in 2019, that's what I was standing in, right? And I'm telling you, I went out to nightclubs, I went out to the bars, restaurants, gas stations. I enjoyed all of Pensacola, right? And there was no mask restrictions. There was no nothing. No one said anything to anybody about wearing a mask or not. Sometimes I would wear one, sometimes I wouldn't. It was just, there was some people in the stores, some more, and some didn't, and it was what it was. Ubers, right? Ubers, we're getting the XL. We're putting all the people in the car, right? It's cool. It was cool. Check it out. One thing I also want to touch on real quick is young fellas, young guys. Check it out. Learn how to act if you're going to go out and go to the club. All right. Whether you're at the strip club or just your normal nightclub or wherever you're at, learn how to act, right? Don't go in there embarrassing yourselves, man. Don't go in there. Why are y'all at a nightclub and then so standoffish? You know what I mean? Why are you on the dance floor and get mad if I bump into you, right? Or if my buddy bumps into you, or we're stepping on your shoes. Buddy, leave the $400 pair of shoes at home. Leave those at home. You're going to the club. Yeah, your fit looks, I get it, your fit is fire. You know what I'm saying? You want your fit to be fire with your shoes. But maybe don't be on the dance floor, my man. Come on, help me out. Help me help you, right? Moving forward, though, right? So I just want people to start thinking of, what do we want America to look like coming out of this pandemic, right? I really choose to not listen to the mass media. Right. I do not subscribe to Fox, CNN, ABC, NBC. I don't subscribe to any of these channels, right, or their news coverage. I'm lucky enough to have enough friends around the world to talk to, right, and see what it's like on ground level. My thing is moving forward, I feel like America is beginning to reach its apex, right, of this weird divisional mind game that's been going on for quite some time. I think it started even before, it started when the split of parties started in our government, right? And I think it's reached its climax now. There's no more, The divide is more than noticeable, right? The games that our politicians play are more than noticeable. Freedom of information and the internet and leaks and WikiLeaks and this and everything has made it so easy now for people to see the deception happening in our country. Right now, I say that to say this is I am not an anti-vaxxer. I believe in science, right? And I believe everybody has the right to choose for their own body, right? I can't force people to be heterosexual, right? Nor can someone force me to be gay. And that's because I get to determine what I can do with my own body, right? Now, as science progresses, I know we will all end up eventually all getting the vaccine. But you can't blame somebody's hesitance and try to say, selfish this or stupid that. Now, with the name calling and stuff, it makes it hard to move forward, right? So moving forward, right, I hope people learn how to act nice. Be nice. Like those young men I'm talking about being at the club. Learn how to behave yourselves. Be nice to each other, right? What happened to that old rule if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all? I mean, can we go back to that? Shit. Dude. I mean, we already have enough shit to worry about on a day-to-day basis. Me, you, everybody, right? Why add on to it by trying to enforce my political ideology onto somebody else, right? Now, people will want to sit here and say, well, it's science. Stop denying science. No, actually, that's how science is created, right? Is by questioning it. That's how innovation is created. Now, if I should just believe the science, right? Let me defend myself on this one, right? I will defend myself on this one. If I'm supposed to believe the science, then why did the Johnson & Johnson get pulled? Was it because maybe there was bad science? I'll leave that one there. Y'all can hit me up and let me know your opinions. But, again, if I live in a country, right? The greatest country, working on my Donald Trump impression. The greatest country. Yeah, I really do believe I live in the greatest country in the world, right? And if I live in the greatest country in the world that is free and I'm allowed to be a free human, I should be able to say, no, you know what? I'm not taking this vaccine, Or, I could also be the person, if everyone in my company says we're not taking the vaccine, I can decide to be like, well, I'm taking it. I don't even take the flu vaccine, right? So talk to me when we say you're able to make a choice, right? Talk to me when we're able to sit here and say, what you do with your life doesn't impact me that much. Could it be detrimental to my livelihood? Yeah. You can decide to shoot me in the head. You know what I'm saying? But on a day-to-day basis, what you do doesn't really affect me at all. Right? So moving forward, why don't we just be nice to each other? Worry about different shit. Right? Worry about different shit. Jesus Christ. I mean, clearly, we are past the worst of coronavirus. We are clearly past. Look at the concerts going on. Astro World and the disaster that happened there. How many people were wearing masks? Talk to me. Right? We got Dodgers games. We got Laker games. We got Clipper games. We got Knicks games, Nets games, all these games. We got all these fucking games. See, now, people could also argue, well, the NBA players are vaccinated. Not all of them, right? Not all of them. And also, their vaccine policy doesn't only come from America, but they also have a vaccine policy being impacted and impeded onto them by China, because the NBA does a lot of business in China. Okay? So look into that, buddy. I don't want to get into a whole vaccine versus non-vaccine. I don't want to get into none of this bullshit, honestly. I'm tired of politics. I'm tired of people fucking arguing all the fucking time. Yeah. It's, it was fun at first, It was fun at first. It's like, when you have that girlfriend and y'all argue a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like in the beginning, y'all arguing just so that you can have that super fucking good makeup sex, But then it's like, damn, once the makeup sex gets fucking like kind of played out, it's like, all right, kind of time to move on now, So it's similar, very similar. I'm telling you right now. Hey, shout out the Fritz Boys podcast, right? I want to make sure I shout them out. Shout out the Fritz Boys podcast. McGill and Nanners. Love you guys, man. Hope and best wishes and prayers and everything to you guys and all your continued endeavors and success. Y'all's podcast is sick as fuck. I was listening to it. I even listened to the pilot episode just to hear y'all out from the gate. Love y'all, man. Love it. Keep doing your thing. But again, moving forward, I want us to just think of like, we could sit here and continue to depend on the government or whoever, right, to make these decisions for us. Where in reality, like, why don't we start banding closer together as people? You know what I mean? Like our communities. Why don't we see what everyone really wants to do, right? And come to a discussion to where we can have these agreements of like, oh, okay, like, Susie and Tom, they do this, and sure, like, I'm not going to keep knocking on their door. If they only vaccinated people at their house, that's fine. But just know when you come to my house, there may or may not be people in this house who are unvaccinated. So you're running that risk, but you don't get to dictate what's going on in my home, right? Nobody. Like, I that's the part that I don't get. Like, where do I have the power to dictate anything that anybody does with themselves or their lives, right? I can only recommend, right? Like, and I like this is big with Leah, the fucking, with like advice, me giving advice, period, right? Because I tell people all the time, like, hey fam, if I give you advice, this isn't necessarily what I would, quote unquote act upon, right? Because I'm only hearing what the questions, based off the questions I ask you, or based off of what you decide to tell me, right? So understand, with the information presented, I can only give you my best assumption to what I would do, right? But I'm also an irrational motherfucker at times, right? And sometimes I cut people off when I'm not supposed to, right? Or I go against the grain when I should just go with the flow, right? Or I do this, trying to be above and beyond, when sometimes you should just stick to script, And this isn't to knock anybody's process, right? But what was I talking about? Shit, I'm fucking blitzed, dude. Anywho. Any fucking who. Oh yeah, I was talking about fucking cutting people off. Dude, I'm so sorry. I had to take a quick break to make sure I am here and well together. Oh my god. Yeah, so again, it's like giving advice, right? You wanna give advice to people in an essence of understanding, right? And to help lead them to a direction, not to force a direction onto them, right? Like I said, I'm different than other people. Sometimes I go against the grain, right? I shouldn't. If I give advice, right? If I'm giving my recommendation, I also try to make sure I tell people, well, like food, right? Or let's take food for example. I'm gonna recommend places that generally have a lot of spices, right? And I like seafood, so you're gonna get a lot of seafood recommendations from me. Or maybe even steaks, because I like to eat a lot of steaks, right? So like giving advice, you got to understand people have certain opinions about what they're doing, right? Same thing with medicines or your political leanings, right? Everyone has a political leaning. And sometimes they give their advice on what they would want to do on a certain situation based off of their political, religious, spiritual, or whatever leaning, right? It could be because of their ethnic leanings, right? Maybe who knows, right? The possibilities are limitless. My real question is why are we getting hung up on what somebody else is doing? Why am I getting frustrated? Why are laws being passed based solely off of somebody's political leaning or because of what they might have going on for themselves with it? It's a question. I mean, for all of us to be these robust and so mighty, social justice warriors and stuff that people try to take their pride in, we don't treat each other very kindly here at home. Before, now we call them social justice warriors, right? Before they called them civil rights activists. So I wonder why the name changed. Is there really a difference in the mission, right? Because if we're being social justice warriors or whatever, like, let's talk about it, right? Let's really talk about it. Because, I'm not comfortable with people anymore, right? I feel like I should bite my tongue and watch what I say so much more than I ever had to before, right? And I'm not the guy to sit here and spout off at someone, right? So it's not like I really need to watch my mouth, right? But it's like, dude, I can't even make a joke with people anymore, right? Or I can't even let somebody live, like let them do their thing, right? Because other people aren't letting me live and do my thing. And it's kind of like, why? Well, what's the problem? What's the holdup? Let's talk about this. I want everyone to be able to feel the same freedom that I feel walking around on this earth. And I feel that freedom because I don't feel like anyone's out to get me, right? Like, I don't have this boogeyman idea in my head, right? But I feel like today's days, like, everyone feels like everyone's this boogie guy, like this boogeyman trying to hold them down or trying to fucking make them die, right? Or hurt them or take, like, no way, bro, no way. I'm on your side. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, when they come for us, it's me and you versus them. That's why I'm not listening to anything they have to say right now, right? So moving forward, I just want everyone to be like, let's be nice. Let's just be nice. Right? Florida was amazing, though. I want y'all to understand this. I went to Pompano Joe's, right? Pompano Joe's. It was in, I want to say it was in Destin, right? But Pompano Joe's, dude, fucking fire. I had the gumbo. Try the gumbo. I had a Bloody Mary to drink, and I also had the calamari, right? Which was also fire, fucking dank. Me, my mom, and my sister, drinks, tip, appetizers. They got another appetizer. It was like this jumbo shrimp with like spices and some other shit going on. Like, it was fire too. Fire. But everything together was like $100. 100 bills, bro. Tip and everything. 100 bills. You cannot beat that. For 3 people, you cannot beat that. Nowhere. And I'm talking about this seafood. The seafood was fucking fire. I also went to Peg Leg Joe's. Also fire. 3 people with a very generous tip was $100. Again, I had the gumbo there. Also fire. Also had calamari. Fire. fucking fire. Two very highly recommended places if you're ever in the Pensacola Gulf Breeze area in Florida. Go check that out. Please go check that out. Check out Seville's Quarter, downtown Pensacola. We had a fucking blast there. Whoever finds my pin, your mom's a hoe. Okay? That thing got me through hard times. And you just don't understand. Nah, but that pin, dude, I hope you got high as fuck off of it. Yeah. Man, listen. I got some new guests coming up soon, and I hope you guys enjoy them. I'm checking in with y'all right now. I want y'all to know I love you. And understand that no matter what happens at the end of the day, at the end of it all, I'm still somebody you can call on. No matter what happens, right? Moving forward, I want everyone to know that. Like, if you're ever listening and you're ever out there, you know, just in your car, having a long-ass day, and you're hoping to reach out to this guy who hosts this podcast that you listen to from time to time, just do it. Hit me up. I will message you back, and we will conversate. We'll talk about whatever you need to talk about, dude. And I want to close it out with this. Yeah. And I want to close this podcast out with this. And the reason why I'm saying let's just be nice, right, is I had a friend contact me here recently and was talking about that he wanted to kill himself, right? And this isn't my first rodeo with somebody, you know, of that nature. But it's not like it doesn't still hurt or scare me, right? Like, I couldn't imagine somebody texting me and be like, yo, you know, your messages with so-and-so was the last ones he made alive. Like, you're the last person in his inbox. You know, like, and to have to answer those questions is just wild to me. You know what I mean? Like, once somebody passes, I like to let them just be gone. You know, I don't like to think about that stuff. You know what I mean? It's just not cool. To me, it's just not cool. I'm just not cool with it. But no matter what we're going through, no matter what we do or what we achieve, no matter where we are in this whole planet, right? I don't give a fuck what no one has to say. We're all connected because we're one race. We're the human race, right? We are one people. Do I love my Native American people? Yes, I do. I think we're the greatest race with the greatest technologies and discoveries that man has ever known, right? But I know that the person beside me, no matter what their skin color, no matter what their shape or form is, they're my brother too. They're my sisters too. Because we're on this earth together, right? So I don't care how much you like the show. I mean, I'm grateful for those who do enjoy it, but I really couldn't give a fuck, right? Because I know I never want anyone to ever feel or think that I'm too big for you to reach out to me. Even if something that I've said has offended you, please reach out to me and we'll have a discussion and I will come to an understanding with you. Okay? And even if you're listening and you're just just going through it. Just fucking going through it. Don't feel shy to send me a message on Instagram. Don't feel shy to send me a message on Facebook. Right? Like, hit me up. Like, never feel that you're alone. Right? A lot of you may not know, but I started this podcast for mental health and to help with mental health and to help bring awareness to it. Right? Like, I'm not afraid to talk about it. Yeah, like, I've had suicidal ideations, you know, for the better part of 10 years. Yeah, like, and I dealt with depression and I dealt with suicidal attempts, right? Like, suicide. Like, I dealt with that shit. I dealt with friends, losing friends to suicide. I've dealt with friends dying, period, right? Like, point blank. So I've watched my friends go at a young age. I'm 28 years old, right? So I just want everyone to know, right? Yeah, I might sit in front of these microphones and interview these people and do all the whatever, right? Do all this shit, whatever. I will never, ever put that shit in front of my humanity. Yeah. No matter what the stress is, right? No matter what you may be feeling. Yeah. No matter how I've offended you, I want you guys to know I'm here to listen, right? And to do what I can to make you feel at ease so that we can be at peace. Because we are in this together. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's moving forward. Let's just be nice, bro. Be nice. I don't know why everyone has to be so up in arms. Let's take time. Because there's people out here crying out for help. And we're too busy at each other's necks. Inflation is up 30%. I can tell you a bunch of people who took the same jobs back in their hometowns that didn't get a 30% raise on their fucking paychecks to match inflation. So stress is hitting people everywhere. Let's figure this out. There's better shit to argue about. Right? I love you guys. I really do. I really love everyone who comes through and listens and participates and rolls with the show. It's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute honor and privilege to sit here and talk with you good people. Yeah, I hope and pray for all the blessings to you and your families. Yeah. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you have a great week, month, year, and life. Yeah. Until next time, I see y'all on the flip side, all right? Bang, 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 bang. Stay motivated out there. Yow, yow, yow.